Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Today we're diving into what might be one of the most exciting and potentially transformative rumors circulating around the NFC East right now. And trust me, this isn't just any rumor, it's a game changer. We're talking about the possibility that the New Orleans Saints, currently mired in a tough 2-4 record, might be making a bold move that could shake up the entire landscape of the division, and more importantly, significantly boost the Washington Commanders' Super Bowl hopes. The buzz, sourced from NFL.com and other insider reports, points to a trade that could see the Saints send their talented wide receiver Chris Olave to Washington in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026 and running back Brian Robinson Jr. Now, this is not just a minor trade, folks. This could be a statement move, a strategic gamble by the Commanders to bolster their offense and really elevate their aerial attack. And honestly, the timing couldn't be better. Let's start by breaking down why this move makes so much sense for Washington. Since the injury to Jahan Dotson and the struggles of Curtis Samuel, the team's passing game has been somewhat inconsistent. And with Sam Howell still developing, adding a player like Olave could be the spark that ignites the entire offense. Olave, at just 25 years old, isn't just any receiver. He's an ascending Pro Bowler with a remarkable skill set. In 2025, he posted 31 receptions for 478 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging an impressive 15.4 yards per reception. That's the kind of deep threat the Commanders have been craving, especially after losing some of that explosiveness with the injuries and inconsistency around the receiving core. Olave's ability to stretch the field is undeniable, and he's known for his contested catch skills, winning 72% of those contested scenarios, which is elite in the league. What makes Olave such a perfect fit for Washington is his style of play. He's a guy who can take the top off the defense, drawing safeties back and opening up underneath routes for the likes of McLaurin and Curtis Samuel. And speaking of McLaurin, imagine the duo of those two receivers stretching defenses vertically. It's reminiscent of some of the most explosive duos in the league. And for the Commanders, this would be a significant upgrade, especially considering the way they want to evolve their passing game. The team's average passing yards per game has hovered around 212, but with Olave, that number could easily climb to 270 or more, making them a much more threatening aerial attack. This kind of vertical threat could also improve their red zone efficiency, which has been a concern, moving from a red zone scoring rate of 51% up to around 64%. That kind of improvement could be the difference in close games, especially when playoff time rolls around. Now, let's talk about the other side of this potential trade. The Saints, with their current record and defensive struggles, are clearly in a rebuild or at least a strategic reevaluation mode. Their defense is giving up an average of nearly 28 points per game, which is, frankly, a huge problem when you're trying to contend. They're sitting at 2-4, and sources suggest they're prioritizing building up the offensive line via draft, perhaps to protect Derek Carr better and give him more time to find targets like Olave. But losing Olave would mean losing a key piece of their offensive puzzle, especially since Carr, with his EPA pass rating of -0.14, isn't exactly lighting up the field with deep throws. So, the Saints might be looking at this trade as a way to stockpile picks and add more versatility to their backfield with Brian Robinson Jr., who's shown flashes of being a durable and powerful runner. And speaking of Robinson, he's a solid back, a physical runner who can punch through defenses and provide some much-needed support in the run game. His inclusion in the trade makes sense because the Saints could be looking to diversify their offensive attack, especially if they're planning a more balanced approach moving forward. For Washington, acquiring Robinson means adding a reliable runner to complement their offense, especially as they look to establish a more balanced attack. But the real prize here, and what could be the game changer, is Olave. His ability to win deep routes, his 4.9 yards after catch per reception, and his contested catch percentage of 72% make him a perfect fit for the kind of vertical, explosive offense the Commanders want to build. Now, let's put this in perspective. The NFL is a league where a single move like this can dramatically shift the balance of power. Washington, with McLaurin leading the receiving corps, has always been a threat in the passing game, but adding someone like Olave transforms that threat into an outright menace. It's no coincidence that the Super Bowl odds for the Commanders have shifted from +2, 500 to +1, 100 in recent weeks, as the team looks to position itself as a real playoff contender. The addition of Olave, especially if it happens before the trade deadline, could be the X factor, particularly in the unpredictable, sometimes rainy playoff conditions that favor big play receivers. Think about it in those crucial postseason games. Having a player who can reliably stretch the field and make contested catches can be the difference between a win and a heartbreaking loss. If we look at the bigger picture, the Commanders are trying to emulate some of the most explosive offenses in the league, and Olave could be that missing piece. His style of play is reminiscent of the kind of explosive wide receivers that have historically carried teams deep into the playoffs. Players like Randy Moss in his prime, who could take over a game with a single play. Washington could be forging a new era, a team that relies on a potent aerial attack, with McLaurin and Olave creating mismatches all over the field. It's a vision of offense that could make defenses sweat, especially when combined with Howell's developing arm and the emerging running game. And the NFC East, as we all know, is fiercely competitive. The Eagles have shown they're a juggernaut, led by Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, who made waves last year with their explosive connection. The Cowboys, always a tough out, boast a strong defense and a competent offense. And now, if the Commanders pull off this trade, they're positioning themselves to challenge those teams not just in the regular season but deep into the playoffs. The division could very well be decided by who makes the boldest moves, and Washington aiming to add Olave could be that bold move that sets them apart. Looking ahead, fans are naturally excited about the potential of this trade. It's not just about acquiring a talented weapon. It's about signaling to the division and the league that Washington is serious about contending. The vision is clear. Build around a dynamic passing game, maximize the talents of McLaurin and Olave, and create a high-powered offense that can compete with the best. This move, if it goes through, would also serve as a statement to the rest of the NFC that the Commanders are no longer just a team trying to sneak into the playoffs. They're a team aiming to dominate. Of course, there are still questions. Will the Saints agree to part ways with Olave? How will Washington manage their cap space and roster flexibility? But the rumors are strong, and the strategic fit is undeniable. Olave's ascension as a deep threat and playmaker could unlock a new level for the Commanders' passing attack, making them a more unpredictable and dangerous opponent. And with the current trajectory, the team's offense could shift from decent to elite, pushing their Super Bowl odds even higher. So fans, this is one of those moments where you have to stay tuned, because the next few weeks could be pivotal. The NFL trade deadline is always a time of excitement, but this particular rumor has all the ingredients to be a blockbuster. We'll be watching closely to see if Olave lands in Washington, and if he does, trust me, it will be a move that resonates throughout the league. It's about building a future, about making a statement, and about giving this team the kind of offensive firepower that can make every game in the postseason a must-watch event. The NFC East might be about to get even more competitive, and the Commanders could be at the forefront of that storm. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Olave would make the offense explode and push the team towards Super Bowl contention? Or are there concerns about the cost or how it might disrupt the locker room? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. Remember, this isn't just about today. It's about shaping the next chapter in Washington's storied history. I'll be back very soon with more updates and insights on all things Commanders, so stay tuned. Keep the passion alive, and let's see how this story unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, hail to the Commanders.